right, everybody. Welcome to the program tonight. It is Friday, September the 3rd, 2021. Gonna have an awesome night tonight. There's the legend back in the house, Julia V, as in Victory, Augustine. Want to thank you all for jumping on here tonight. It is going to be a phenomenal night. In fact, the content for tonight, I'm actually more excited about than I've been in a while. I've got some really, really interesting things. So as you know, we are broadcasting live. We are blowing some smoke from the Palatial Studios, towering 13 feet high above South Mercer Street, from the 16125 zip code, and we are so excited that you are here. It's going to be fantastic. I mean, everybody is just dropping in here tonight. We've got a crew watching from Hempfield Estates in the town of Greenville, Pennsylvania. The Gorleys are in the house. Nathan Wright, no birthday shirt tonight. That's once a year. Folks, do me a favor tonight, because we're trying to get the algorithm better and better, and I can tell you firsthand that it's working because the show is growing. So one of the benefits I get working with Stephen Haywood, who's my broadcast engineer, is I get to see a lot of the stats behind the scenes. The guy's brilliant. In fact, I need to get Stephen on here one night, maybe next week sometime. I'm going to get Stephen on here so you guys can meet him, and I think that would be really good. So the point being is the program is growing, and that is not only because we're putting out good content, we are also consistent every Tuesday, 8:30, Friday, 8:30. Of course, that's Eastern time. We have folks joining us from all over the United States. I enjoy watching where everyone comes in from other states and also from other countries. So we're consistent. We started on Facebook, we expanded to YouTube, and now we also welcome our Integrity Television crew that is jumping on here. So tonight is something special, and you're not going to want to miss it, and that's why you are here. So a big hello to everybody. Make sure you hit the like button if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. Hit those shares, because that is us working together, and we're having a good result with that. So it's just going to get bigger and better and better and bigger. So, in fact, I got a message from Integrity Television, a week or so ago. They're getting ready to be picked up by another cable network. So you know what that means. We're going up and up and up. So may the Lord bless Integrity Television, all the staff there, and all the viewers. It's going to get bigger and better, and I'm glad to be a part of it. So God bless all of you guys. Tonight is going to be awesome. I'm pumped up. I know you're wondering, because we didn't do the live weigh-in because of the wedding. I know you're wondering about the Scale It Down. The Scale It Down is cooking. I mean, even though I ate that banana cake on the program Tuesday night, Julia Augustine, the all-star, shared across the board. Roe Gammon checking in. Folks, I believe we have a new loyal viewer at 8:30 on Tuesday and Friday, representing Midlothian, Virginia. Roe, you rock. Bob Piccarilli, what are you saying? No football game in Sharpsville tonight, so I'm able to be here tonight. That is awesome. Hi, Bob. You rock, dude. No, Scale It Down's doing great. So what I was going to tell you guys is I was very good. I only ate that one piece that I ate on the air. You know what, Ruby Davis? You are exactly right. It's healthy because it is bananas. The cake was magical. I love your guys chatting. Isn't it fun? Look here, Ro, dropping the love it in the chat. Hey, we're loving you being here. I know mother and father are as well. Hey, Amy Durive, God bless you. Yeah, Ruby, healthy because of the bananas. So I ate just one piece. It was phenomenal. And another big thank you to Chrissy Ramold for dropping that out there. So Facebook is loading up. YouTube is loaded. Integrity Television, you're all here. I know you're wondering the big question because we've been scaling it down all through the summer. I got good news for you. Here it goes.
Let's see, I'm not too hungry this morning. I'll just have orange juice, bowl of cereal, stack of wheats, 3 eggs over. Make sure they ain't running out.
Right.
Bacon on the crisp side, white toast buttered, hash brown potatoes, and coffee. Coffee.
Does my heart good to see a thin person eat.
The Scale It Down is going beautifully. I received my second box of the big Nutri. Yeah, you guys know I'm doing the Nutri-System. And I'm eating a lot of salads. And I have not had a bowl of Lucky Charms, Frosted Flakes, Frosted Mini Wheats, Cinnamon Toast Crunch since I started this program. In fact, I have not even ingested milk. I mean, other than milk that's in some kind of cooking like banana cake. I do have half and half in my coffee in the early mornings when I get up, very, very early in the morning. Hey, Buddy Wilson, good evening to you. I was a little nervous on the big knife as well, but we made it through. No cuts in the mouth. Everything's golden. Hey, and, you know, Holly's on vacation down in Myrtle Beach with her best friend, her annual trip. We're keeping the dishes down with me and Annie and Adam. Why dirty up a fork when you can eat with a knife? In fact, I've had the kids eating off of paper towels all week with plastic forks and frozen pizza. We have no dishes. They have not been allowed to wear any clothes other than one outfit all day. We have no dirty clothes. It's been glorious. The house is perfect. There's no problems. Vacuum? We don't need to vacuum. They're not allowed to walk on the carpet. You're only allowed to walk in the house on the hardwood floor right now because we're making no messes. Using the bathroom? Outside. This house is perfection. Good evening. John and Lynn checking in from Chester, Virginia. Hey, we're having some fun. And but the Scale It Down, in all seriousness, is going fantastic. We're down now 16 pounds. Can you believe it? 16 pounds. And more to come. Tell you, by the time I get to my hunting trip in early November, I'm going to be a ripped machine. So, folks, now I do have a special beverage of the night because I did allow Annie to walk to the store. She goes, Dad, I want to go get you a beverage of the night. I'm tired of you drinking this junk. I said, okay, Annie, you want to go get Dad a drink? Yeah, go ahead. I've got some in the fridge, but I'll move yours up to the front. So I've moved Annie's up to the front. So, of course, I didn't let her drive to Walmart. Why? Why burn gas? Just walk. I know she's been sick and not feeling well, but it's good for you. Helps get that fever down. She walked over to Walmart, and she came in with the beverage of the night tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Never tried it, and I think it is Clutch City.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you are about to witness is not only exciting and educational, but sometimes a bit risky as well. Do not try this at home. It's time for the beverage of the night.
All right, folks, on the beverage of the night tonight, gonna be good. She went and picked this out. This is a plant-based energy water. It's called Buy Boost. I wonder what Buy stands for. B-A-I. I don't know. But she did know enough to get Dad watermelon and strawberry. And this is not just any normal strawberry. This is a Watamu strawberry. What is a Watamu strawberry? Anyway, it does have caffeine, but it's antioxidant infused, good source of vitamin C, only 1 gram of sugar, and no sweeteners for Donya in the house as always. So folks, here it is, not carbonated. Top coming off. Strawberry, Watamu. Watermelon. Holy moly. Holy moly. Folks, stop the music, stop the presses. I've been doing this program for 18 months, and we're just getting started. I'm going to tell you something right now. You guys over the past 18 months have given me and mailed to me some pure trash to drink. There are other times where you have sent in wonderful things. I mean, some of you have been devious, sending me in beverages that'll mess you up, but I've drank them. But Annie has come through clutch. Folks, we are not sponsored by this beverage here, but I'm here to tell you right now, you need to go, not now, when the program's over, straight to Walmart, go to the water aisle, get this Buy Boost Watermoo Strawberry Watermelon. Folks, this is nectar of the gods. Man, that's really good. I'm just going to be honest with you. And that's not just to make her feel good. It did wear her out. She had a fever. She did walk 2 miles to Walmart and back. But it was worth it. The drink was fantastic. Come on, Lodi, California. I was waiting for California to roll up in the house. Gail Cummins, God bless you. Folks, we got a lot to look at tonight. The next 48 minutes are going to be awesome. If you saw the pre-roll ad that went out about 2 hours before program time, you're right. We're going to get the truth tonight. Not from me. I'm setting the hook. Not from me. Tonight, you are going to hear directly from 5 Afghanistan citizens who have crossed the border into Pakistan and are telling their story, what has happened over the last 2 weeks. We're going to hear the truth directly from Afghani citizens. Going to be awesome. That's coming up in a little while. Before that, we got lots of stuff to look at. Let's roll. Barney, kick it into gear. Folks, tonight, I'm really pumped up. I'm excited. Got a good show tonight. Lots of interesting things. Of course, we're going to continue the stories. For those of you that are new here on YouTube and Facebook and Integrity Television, here's where we stand. We base live and broadcast live out of Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania. Been picked up lately by Integrity Television. Very happy to be a part of that family. We are not just like crazy right, crazy left, crazy middle. We are crazy Bible. We're here to see what the Bible says, what the truth of God's word says. We look at current events that are going on, see how they connect to prophetic end-time things that are unfolding before our eyes. We try to analyze the truth. We recognize that everybody needs Jesus, but we're going to tell the truth and see where we stand and what's going. So there's your disclaimer, and it is time to go. Folks, I'm telling you right now, the economy is going to be goofy for a little while. In fact, there's a guy that I follow. I'm going to show you something from him in just a moment. His name is Charlie Balalo. But General Motors today and Ford came out, and I think it was about a week ago that I showed you guys a picture out of Louisville, Kentucky, where all those Ford trucks and vans and vehicles were parked because the cars were ready to go to lot to be sold, but they were missing one chip. Well, today, General Motors reported that they are having to shut down production for a few weeks in their North America plants, 5 of them, because they have no chips. Ford's truck and SUV factories shutting down again due to chip shortage. And you're sitting there and you're going, okay, why does Lay's or barbecue or Doritos affect GM, Ford, and other companies in America? Well, it's not potato chips. It's computer chips. And here's the deal. Brad Llewellyn, welcome to the program, man. Been missing you. Hope you're feeling better. I think you had a knee procedure or something I heard on broadcast now last night. So welcome, Brad. General Motors and Ford, chips. Here's the deal. Everything pretty much that you deal with on a daily basis right now has a chip in it. Today, I made a run to Walmart because I needed to get a shredder. The reason I wanted to get a shredder was to shred mail. Because while I keep ripping it up and throwing it in the trash, but what I really want to do is shred it. So I did get a shredder while Holly's gone, and I set it right by the front door. Is that a good place for the shredder? I didn't set it in my studio or office. I set it right by the front door. Why? So when the mail comes in, if it's junk, I get to shred it instantly. So I had a really fulfilling day shredding paper. But I was thinking about that shredder. Folks, that shredder has a chip in it. You say, well, it's not like a computer. No, but it has chips and circuits that cause the mechanical equipment to work. So you think about your home for a moment, how technology has evolved in your home. Think about your car. You're watching this program right now either on a phone, iPad, computer, or a television. Chips. Think about your vehicle in your driveway. Chips. Think about your microwave. Chips. Oh, well, I got a new refrigerator that connects to my Wi-Fi. Chips. You see, chips run the world. Barbecue flavor. And here's the problem that we have that we now are seeing the repercussions of. Where are the chips made? Very few chips are made in America. Most chips are made, you guessed it, in China. China right now is taking advantage of that. I believe that I've researched, I've read about this stuff. Yes, COVID-19 has affected things as far as supplies and shortages and the movement of goods. But how can you take care of a country without firing a shot? You deal with them economically. It's why America sanctions so many rogue nations and rogue regimes to affect them in the pocketbook. Well, right now, America's being hit in the pocketbook. And what I don't understand is why do we keep our jobs over there? Why do we keep, I know pricing and infrastructure and economics, but look where it's getting us. We now are held hostage, literally, by an absence of chips. Now, there is an economist that I follow. His name is Charlie Bolello. I want to show you something that Charlie put up this afternoon. This is Charlie Bolello. You may have never heard of this guy. He's one of the smartest guys out there. And here's what he wrote about today. Chip shortage is impacting supply lines everywhere. Factories are now being impacted by COVID-19 in Asia. We continue to see extended delivery times because the ports are backed up because they're unable to offload the goods. Do you know why they're unable to offload the goods? For example, in the port of Los Angeles, which is a huge port, the port of San Francisco. Why? They do not have enough workers. The supply chain functions have ceased to exist normally. Now prices are going up and employees are getting wore completely out. In fact, I was talking to a friend of mine who works in California, and he says his company is just going nuts because people are not working, and the ones who are working are just getting their lives destroyed. This is leading to part shortages. It's leading to an absence of raw materials, which increases prices. There are fewer people applying for jobs because they're not working, not only in America, but abroad. And there continues to be a backlog. And he, very smart guy right here, Charlie Balelo, does not see an end to it yet. It's an important thing that we must pay attention to. The economics are a little goofy. In fact, today, when I was in Walmart, I ran into a faithful viewer who's probably in here tonight. His name is Bill Jones. And Bill was there getting some groceries. His wife's name is Kathy. And Bill said, PG, I hate coming to Walmart. I said, why? He goes, 2 reasons. Number 1, I don't know where anything is anymore. I said, okay. He goes, and number 2, they do not have what I'm looking for. Have you folks noticed that the shelves look a little different? I'm not spreading fear. I'm just telling you reality. I've been looking for light honey mustard for 3 weeks. And I was in the salad. I go every day looking for this stuff because I like it. And it's light, helping the scale it down. I'm standing there in the aisle where the dressings are, and I'm looking. There's one spot. I know where it is. A guy comes up beside me and goes, you looking for the honey mustard light? I said, yeah. He goes, me too. Hasn't been here for 3 weeks. Folks, when you even go down drink aisles and water aisles and other stuff, you just notice it's just not the way it used to be with overflowing, especially on that grocery aisle. In fact, my dad today was telling me a story that, go to Meadville Walmart. Good idea. I could go to Giant Eagle, but I'm not, I'll find it. But it's like a battle. I want it to be there, right there. Talked to my dad today. He says, boy, them peas are going up. I said, what peas? He says, your daughter Grace and Josh came over for dinner a week ago, and they wanted some Le Sueur peas. I went to Walmart, got a couple cans, $1.44 a can. Now, a week later, they invite themselves over for another dinner. They tell me they want Le Sueur peas again. I go to Walmart, not $1.44. In 1 week, it went from $1.44 to $1.88 a can. These things are happening right in front of our eyes. Yeah, Elaine Gorley, that is a really, really good point. And when that pops in, I've got all these multiple screens here. I'm going to pop that one up for everybody to see. Yeah, right here. Not only do they not have it, but they have no one to put it on the shelf if they do get it. And that's true. And that's kind of what I'm sharing with Charlie Balelo here. This guy is smart, very, very smart. And he's just analyzing, and we're seeing that this cycle is not ending. So it will be interesting to see what happens. Now, folks, we're going to talk about abortion a little bit tonight. And I'm going to teach you something here just for a moment. In 2015, Joe Biden came out and said, and there's the video of it. I'm not going to play it tonight, but there's the video right there. It says, I am prepared to accept that the moment of conception is a human life and being. I'm prepared to accept. Now, you guys know that the battle over President Joe Biden and his assertion that he is a Catholic, and then the Catholic Church fighting to not give him communion because he supports abortion. The Catholic Church stands against abortion, et cetera, et cetera. You know the story there. Well, now there is a big unfolding in the world of abortion in America, and Texas is leading the way. I'm going to share that with you in just a moment. But now Joe Biden today changes his position. He now says life doesn't begin at conception. I have a question for you. If life doesn't begin at conception, what does conception mean? Do you realize, Mr. Biden, that the word conception means beginning, the initiation, the start? Somebody send him a thesaurus where he can look up words and he understands them. Conception means beginning. Life begins. You cannot say it doesn't begin at conception and use the word conception. You're getting some bad advice there. Catholic Catechism. And I know some of you in here tonight, and you know what? Did I say hi to Raphael? You stayed home from the football game to watch PG. Hi, Ray. Catholic Catechism. There's some good stuff here. I'm pulling this right up from the Catholic Church, and I want to read it to you right here. This is Catholic Catechism. I know it's hard for you to read there, but I'm going to read it. This is right in their second edition. Their stance on abortion. Human life must be respected and protected absolutely from the moment of conception. From the first moment of his existence, a human being must be recognized as having the rights of a person, among which is the inviolable right of every innocent being to life. They then go and quote a couple scriptures, wonderful, from the Bible, and they have a declaration in the Catechism. Formal cooperation in an abortion constitutes a grave offense, and it can lead to the canonical penalty of excommunication. Now, folks, that is directly from Catholic Catechism. President Biden, the Catholic, says, no, life doesn't begin at conception. I'm here to tell you right now that there is a battle getting ready to unfold. Here we have this guy, and I do not purposely try to disrespect anybody ever. I will tell the truth if it needs to be told, and tonight this needs to be told. You know, I watch a lot of history. I have watched the videos of Dan Rather being in Vietnam with our troops under fire. So I do not want to throw Dan Rather under the bus. I'm going to say that Dan Rather and President Joe Biden are having some issues with faculties. It's obvious. Dan Rather, you know, he's lost his way somehow. How could you experience war the way you did? Go back in YouTube and look up some of Dan Rather's reports. I mean, he's under fire. He's doing a good job. You know he's famous from all his years. But this guy, he's lost his way. He came out today and says, pro-lifers are basically like the Taliban. Now, we're going to hear from 5 eyewitnesses in just a moment. 5 eyewitnesses. Remember this. Dan Rather said, pro-lifers are like the Taliban. Dan Rather, his quote was, it's worth noting that many of the same people attacking the Biden administration for leaving women's rights behind in Afghanistan are eager to control women's bodies and choices in the United States. Sir, that is the most ignorant statement I have ever heard. how on earth you can compare the treatment of women under Taliban / ISIS rule to a woman's right to choose is ridiculous. There is a very, very famous mathematician that lives in London, England, who does many, many human rights for Africans, for the entire continent of Africa. Her name is Obianuju Ekiosha. Yeah, I know it's a tough one. She's brilliant. She lives in London, England. She is some top tier, world level mathematician genius, has all these foundations helping women in Africa. This is what she said. When I read tweets like this, referring to the one I just read you from Dan Rather, it dawns on me that abortion is indeed a pseudo-religious sacrament for Western elites. In their minds, they equate what Taliban is doing to women with those fighting to end atrocity that is abortion. Obianuju Ekiosha, you are a smart lady, and you get a big cheer tonight. Folks, you got to understand, Dan Rather, he's kind of famous. We're just losing our viability in the world very quickly, and I'm going to have something else to say about that in just a moment. Texas has stepped up to the plate, and Governor Abbott has signed it that bans most abortions. You're saying, okay, what are the details of that? I heard about that. So basically, this is what Texas says, and this is signed in the law. If there is a heartbeat detectable, it is now illegal to have an abortion. You say, okay, but that, no, that's very good. A Texas law banning most abortions in the state took effect at midnight. There was a call on the Supreme Court to block it. They have yet to done so. And if allowed to remain in force, this is the most dramatic restriction on abortion since the landmark Roe v. Wade decision strangled our nation in 1973. It restricts most abortions once the heartbeat can be detected. Now, the heartbeat in a fetus or a new baby is usually detected around the 6th week of pregnancy. And here's the deal about that. Most women at week 6 do not even know they're pregnant yet. Folks, this is a big deal. That's right. God bless Texas. Go ahead, Ashley Durave Mahalik. God bless Texas. But here's the deal. Y'all ready for this? There are 12 other states that are lining up right now behind Texas to do the same thing. And Florida right now, DeSantis came out today and he says, we're coming right for you, Texas. We're going to do exactly what you did. Folks, this is brewing like a teapot right now. And praise the Lord, we are getting some good news and good movement on this abortion front. You know, folks, many things, I question many things. You know, I did the video on, and no debates. I did the video and proved to you out of the Bible why a vaccination for COVID is not the mark of the beast. Now, if you want to get vaccinated or not, that's your decision. It's your decision to take care of your family and to take care of those that are around you. You got to deal with that. But many folks lost their minds calling it the mark of the beast. And, you know, that video that got posted actually got so many views. And I figured out people are interested in the mark of the beast. But, you know, those same people that are so interested in all these things, a lot of times we don't pay attention to other things. Right now, United States, there are some states that are getting ready to accept driver's license on the iPhone, not an Android, but only working with Apple. 8 U.S. states have already signed up and approved to accept driver's license and other state IDs stored on an iPhone. Those states are, believe it or not, Arizona, Georgia, Connecticut, Iowa, Kentucky, Maryland, conservative Oklahoma, conservative Utah. What? People start talking about marks of the beast and technology. In fact, the government and the TSA in Apple has said when you go through TSA or a cop pulls you over and you need to show your driver's license, are y'all ready for this? You do not even have to unlock your iPhone, meaning show the screen. All you do is hold it up, and they scan it, and the technology inside the telephone is going to shoot your driver's license, your identification, right to the person checking you. And somebody wants to tell me that getting a shot's the mark of the beast? Of course, this is not the mark of the beast either. But, folks, if you for one moment think that you can live under a rock and nobody knows about you, or, well, I pay everything in cash, I've got news for you. If you have a cell phone, which I would say 99% of you do, and this is not a conspiracy at all. I hate conspiracy theories. I like facts, truth. Truth is, if you have a cell phone, your life's not private. Sorry. That's just the way it is. It's not. Oh, well, yeah, but I've got mine encrypted. Yeah, right. You've got yours encrypted. Have you ever watched Criminal Minds and seen Penelope Garcia break through and just hack away? Yes, that stuff's real and really happens. So I do see it very interesting, though, that driver's license, TSA, all this stuff is moving toward iPhones. Very, very, very interesting for me. Folks, continuing today, President Biden reiterated, and there's a reason I'm telling you this, that the Afghanistan pullout and hails the evacuation. Now listen, the reason I put this here is because these two articles coincide, and I'm setting you up for the 5 interviews we're going to hear from tonight. 5 interviews from Afghanis. President Biden defends the Afghanistan pullout, hails evacuation of 90% of Americans. 100 to 200 U.S. citizens are left behind, of which are many high school students from Sacramento. Now, I know we have veterans in here. I mean, some real veterans that had war experience. All veterans are real. Do not misunderstand me. I'm talking about, we got some older guys in here, Vietnam vets who saw some serious stuff, and it affected their life forever. But God's been with them and helped them. I think about you there, Rick Barry. Just want to give you a shout out and thank you for your service in Vietnam. You've had to deal with it your entire life, and we appreciate that. But Rick Barry, I'm going to let you be my co-host for a second. I know my opinion, but please tell me if this is right. Because I just wanted to join the Marines, but I was not allowed because of that. They wouldn't accept me for some reason. Didn't have enough fingers on the left hand. But I did watch Red Dawn. Now listen. Rick Barry, waiting for your chat. And here's your question. When you were in Vietnam fighting, was it a success if you left any of your platoon in the jungle? What happened to nobody left behind? Nobody. Since when do we call 90% success when we have left children, American children, in Kabul? Rick Barry, am I right or am I wrong? You are a veteran. Ray Main, I see your stripes there in your profile picture. Love it. Let's throw it up there. There we go. I mean, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm naive. But for me, how can you hail success when we left our children there? To me, that, my friends, is not success. So what has happened? Now, Europe and our best allies, there in that picture to the right, you see Macron, the president of France, Boris Johnson. Could you guys imagine right now if Margaret Thatcher was in office? She would be melting somebody. Our number one allies, France and Great Britain, they have publicly stated that for the first time since World War II, when there were some disagreements, they are ready to not walk step in step with American policy. Folks, that is a tragedy. I'm filled with. All right, titanium. Rick Barry, there's the answer I was looking for. And folks, that is a Vietnam veteran who was in the heat of the battle. I'm talking the heat. You were right. No man left behind, all caps. Judy Roberts, no, it isn't. Shameful. I'm going to give you some airtime. Rick Barry, I could get a little testy about this if I wasn't such a calm and gentle personality. Yeah, I hear you. The problem is, folks, it's not a success. We don't leave anybody behind. Nobody. And here's the deal. Our allies are watching. Let's say we need to go to battle in the future. Something unfolds. And we're rolling in with England and France as our allies. Do you think they're now thinking that unless America transitions, that we may leave them on the battlefield? Oh, no, it's too hot for us. We've got to get back home. That's the problem. You have to think in those amount of layers. God bless our relationships. Folks, because our government is doing nothing. You talking about interesting. And I know people all the time want to blast Google. Oh, well, they're invading my privacy, which they do, but everybody does. I'm sorry to tell you. But you're most likely using a Gmail account. And when you go to search on the internet, you do go to google.com. So it is the way it is. So here's the deal. I've got to give a big cheer tonight for Google. BG, you can't cheer Google. Yes, I can. Why? Because Google has stepped up to the plate and they are now being proactive, much more proactive than our Pentagon and our Department of Defense and our leadership in Washington, D.C. Google has come out and says we are locking all Afghani government accounts and emails because the Taliban is trying to hack them and get the information, get the private information, get the data. And we are not going to allow a terrorist regime to get the Afghani government documents. So you know what, Google? I may boo you sometimes, but you are getting a cheer tonight. At least you're doing something. Thank you very much, Google. Isn't that very, very interesting? Well, folks, tonight it's time and 15 minutes left that we're going to spend together. I want to show you something here. I'm doing all kind of stuff tonight. We're having a good time. I want to show you something. Take a look at this. You folks see that? Let me tell you what that is. That, my friends, is Karachi, Pakistan. That is the central circle in Karachi. There are some things that I want you to pay attention to. A, I have been right on that road. I mean, on that very circle where that red bus is, I've been there. A couple of things I want you to notice about the picture. A, look at all the vehicles. B, look at all the buses. C, look at all the apartment buildings. D, do you see the paved roads down the middle? Sure. That's the only pavement there is. Everything else is built on sand and dirt. There is very little infrastructure. Very, very little. Trash is everywhere. It's a problem because the infrastructure is not there. Karachi, Pakistan is a city, one of the biggest in the world, with 28 million people. This is Karachi. There is a reason that I want to show you Karachi, because right now we're going to hear from 5 Afghani citizens who over the last couple of weeks have escaped. They have escaped the Taliban. Al Jazeera went to Pakistan, found these 5 individuals, interviewed them. They are not allowed to show their real names, but the drawings rendered are close. These people have left Afghanistan under the craziness of the Taliban, with whom, for some reason, our government is choosing to trust and negotiate with. Let's hear from 5 Afghanistan citizens tonight. See what they think about that. The first one that I would like to introduce you to, and I'm going to go full screen on this because I'm going to read to you their interview. And when I read to you their interview, I want you to look at that picture. This is a real person that right now is right here in Karachi, Pakistan, as we are speaking. This is incredible. First one I'd like to introduce you tonight is Azim. Azim is 23 years old. He traveled 1,000 miles to get to Karachi, Pakistan. Here's Azim's story. He is an ethnic Tajik who worked in a bakery while pursuing an engineering degree in Kabul. Azim fled Kabul province after 2 of his friends were brutally killed by the Taliban 2 weeks ago. He and his friends had given Afghan forces information on the Taliban hideouts in the area. They were together when the Taliban fighters rounded them up. The fighters from the Taliban took pictures of the 3 gentlemen and then began to torture them. They started with his 2 friends. They cut off their noses, their ears, their fingers, and their toes. But as they were distracted, Azim, before he was to be tortured, was able to run away. The Al Jazeera interviewer said as he was telling the story, there was panic and fear on his face. On August the 17th, he began walking toward Pakistan. He got to his father. He borrowed a little money, took a bus, made it to the Pakistani border. When he got to the Pakistani border, he told them what had happened and says, I must leave. They allowed him to cross the border with no documentation. Now he finds himself in Karachi, Pakistan, destitute, alone, no food, no clothes, no money. That, my friends, is Azim, who is 23 years old. Folks, I'd like to introduce you next to Shamil. Shamil is 44 years old. She is a nurse's aide. She has been a nurse's aide for 20 years. She fled the northern province in Afghanistan 1 month ago as Taliban fighters came to her town and began torturing people. They made it impossible for her to work, and no longer was she safe in her own home. She traveled with her husband and daughter for 4 days on a bus and then by foot. She walked to Karachi, Pakistan. She tells her story that when the Taliban rose up 2 months ago, the entire atmosphere in Afghanistan changed. The life that we had was now impossible. There was no possibility of success. We had to leave Afghanistan. I'm so discouraged now because I sent my 16-year-old son away first because I feared for his life. I have never seen him again. The Taliban break into our homes. They come in, they take our food, they beat our families, they rape our children. We have no hope. Folks, I want to introduce you next to Ahad, 50 years old. In Karachi, he's leaning against his aluminum crutch, and he tells that for the previous 20 years, before this latest uprising, he lived in Kabul. He says Afghanistan is his home. And in fact, 20 years ago, he joined the Afghani army and was trained by the U.S. National Forces, whom he revered very, very highly. There was relative peace, but then the last couple of months, the Taliban rose again. Make no mistake about it, they are terrorists. They killed my brother in front of my eyes, and I had to leave. As I was trying to make my way to Karachi, my second brother was tortured and killed by the Taliban. I can't go on. I will live in Karachi with nothing rather than be dead in Afghanistan. Folks, what about Asadullah? 19 years old. 19 years old. Folks, maybe you have a 19-year-old. These are real people. These are real interviews that just happened yesterday. My daughter is 19 years old. The next guy we're going to hear from is Asadullah. He is 19 years old. Think about your grandchildren. Think about your children. Think about your friends and family. 19. Asadullah. Two brothers from Kunduz city in Afghanistan, each having a newborn baby. They had to leave their parents behind because there was no money to pay for a journey to get them to safety. One of the young men traveling, his name is Asadullah. He hopes one day in the future that he can save enough money to get his family to safety in Pakistan. Trying to raise money over the last few weeks in Kabul, he began driving a rickshaw, which is like a little motorcycle taxi. He was trying to get enough money and have enough money not only to eat, but to get his family out of Afghanistan. 2 weeks ago, he was picked up by the Taliban and he was tortured and questioned. He says, I was beaten out of my mind, and all they did was torture and question me. They wanted to know who was not loyal to them. He says what they will do is first they beat you up. And he says if you surrender to them, they then will force you to join their ranks. And if you do not, they will destroy your family. I was able to escape by foot. I asked nobody for anything. I ran straight for the Pakistani border. I hope one day to get my family back. Folks, 19 years old. The final gentleman of the night, Samiullah, 21 years old. He is the brother. He worked in Kabul as a young butcher, a meat cutter. But the Taliban rose up in the last 6 to 8 weeks and made it impossible for us to even work. He blames the President Ashraf Ghani and President Joe Biden for allowing the Taliban takeover. We as Afghanis were happy with the Americans' help until President Biden and President Ghani decided to give our country to the Taliban. I was removed from my job. I was questioned and I was tortured. My brother was questioned and tortured. He ran for the border. They asked me about my brother. And after taking a break on beating me, they turned their backs. I was able to run away. My dear friends, this is not something that you're going to see on your CBS News with Dan Rather. You're only going to get it here. I dug hard for that one because I see all this stuff going on, and what we must remember is there are actually people there. People whose lives are being destroyed. Don't you believe for 1 minute that the Taliban is good. They are an evil regime full of the devil, and they need Jesus. Being full of the devil, they are going to operate in an evil manner. In the United States of America, we better not negotiate nor trust the Taliban ever. That's 5 stories that has happened in the last couple of weeks. Very, very interesting. This is why America, like never before, we must return to being a good Samaritan. I want to leave you with this scripture tonight. Tonight's been awesome. That was so, that was the truth, folks. I was reading straight from the script, straight from it, from Al Jazeera. The Good Samaritan, Luke chapter 10. Jesus said a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too a Levite. When he came to the place and saw him, he passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, he came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 denarii, gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you may have. Jesus says, which of these 3 do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of robbers? The expert in the law replied, the one who had mercy on him. Jesus told him, go and do likewise. My dear friends, in closing tonight, may we return to being good Samaritans. May the United States return to being good Samaritans. I do not know where the chaos and the madness has come from, but I want you to know something. The priest and the Levite, which was the religious people, ignored the one who needed help. But the Samaritan, the one whom the Jews hated, Samaritans hated Jews, he put it aside. He says, there is somebody that needs help. My dear friends, there are people that need help all around the world. I gave you 5 stories tonight of Afghanis, but it's not just Afghanistan. It's people in your own town, your own neighborhood, your own state, and our own country and around the world. Make sure that you're not like the religious one who passes by. Focus on the ones that need help. Go over, put them on your own donkey, pave their way, Tell the innkeeper, whatever they have need of, I'll take care of it when I return. My dear friends, it's time to return to being good Samaritans. What an awesome night. Been incredible. Make sure you're in a church this weekend, whether on campus or online, celebrating the goodness of God. And we will see you next week, Tuesday night. GTBG. Nope. The Experience. We love you guys. Good night. May the Lord bless you, keep you, cause his face to shine upon you, be gracious to you, and give you more peace than you can possibly handle. Go be nice to somebody and be a good Samaritan. Remember those 5 Afghanis. That's legit. Love you guys. Good night.